with The Real Cinemas Blackpool and Ballincollig and online at therealpicture.com.
In a world where there's a million movie podcasts, here comes another one from themoviebit.com. This is the podcast.
Christ. Who taught you that technique? A friggin' cheese grater?
Anything gets more than 3 blocks out, you turn it backwards, you turn it to ash. So you listen to me and you listen well.
Hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome to the podcast from themoviebit.com. My name is Victor Barry. Over there is Tom White. We are here with thanks to the Real Picture Cinemas Blackpool and Ballincollig. Check them out online at therealpicture.com. Another week goes by in the land of the movie bit. Whoosh. Or whoosh. You know what? Will we get going? Before we get going, here's the thing, right? That really kind of fucking annoyed me.
Oh god. Okay.
And we know we're in for a bad start when the swearing. There was no swearing last week, really. So Tom said shit, I think.
We have an entire week to make up for it.
Yeah, well, this may or may not make up for it. Here's the thing. A couple of people were on to me about something I threw up on Twitter over the weekend. Hello to everybody that's watching on Facebook Live, by the way. If you subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher, you're well used to that. You can interact with us on Facebook Live as well by dropping us a comment on the video, yoke, and we'll only be too happy to entertain that comment and get into it with you. So whatever your comment might be, then that would be pretty awesome. And of course, you can always email podcast@themoviebit.com, and you can message us on Facebook as well. But something that kind of really
Irked you?
I think irked is a good word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think irk is a good word. Irk rhymes with dirk and smirk. It's like rap lyrics 101 here. Grandmaster Tom. Now there was a thing that kind of really just annoyed me, and this is a lot of these portal sites that you see everywhere, and movie studios deciding to push a lot of their content to a wide and varied audience who a lot of them couldn't give a fuck about movies, and they're more concerned with pictures of cats' arses or a sporting story.
Can't say I've seen lots of pictures of cats' arses.
Yeah, you have, don't lie. Or a great white jumping out of a cage or getting stuck in a cage and all of this kind of stuff, which is fine. They serve their purpose. But for movie studios to kind of leave movie sites kind of drift off. And look, movie sites are dying. Dedicated hardcore movie sites are dying because all the content is going somewhere else to all of these. And the thing is,
the rise of YouTube celebrity is killing us.
It's not in one sense, yeah, but it's a case that like, why would, for example, if I wanted to sell Tom a car,
okay,
I don't know.
I've seen your car. I don't want your car.
I don't. You want my car. I don't know where I'm going with this analogy. If I was to sell you a car, I would take you to a garage, correct?
Yes.
Where they would sell specifically nothing but cars. And maybe service and parts for cars. Yeah. Right? I wouldn't
above board.
I wouldn't take you to a shopping centre, to a clothes shop to buy a car, would I, Tom?
No.
There you go. You see? You go where your audience is. And it's just something that really kind of it disappoints me in one sense. It annoys me in another sense. And there's another sense I'm going, why should I give a fuck anymore?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's, yeah. A wide range of emotions he is feeling right now.
And we've built up like a long...
Angry.
They're always angry. We've built up a long-standing relationship with a lot of the studios. But, you know, I just see stuff that's been handed over to places that are screaming, oh, we've got millions of uniques a month. Which is fine. That's their thing. That's how they sell stuff. Yeah. But then if you look at their downloads or their YouTube stuff, it's like 500 views, 1,000 views. So here's all of this content with badly done interviews.
Yeah.
Badly put together. And they get 1,000 views. Yet does the movie studio think, well, fucking hell, we're getting, going to get 5 million people are going to look at this because they told us 5 million people look at the site.
All those unique views are over varied...
cat-ass pictures, more cat-ass pictures.
Sport, where they use cat-ass pictures.
Dog-ass pictures, great white shark-ass pictures. You see his ass when he's hauling out of that cage. So that's
Vic stumbled across a very weird site.
I haven't. Have you not seen the great white stuck in the cage?
No.
Really?
No, I haven't seen this.
Oh, this was somewhere in was it off of South Africa somewhere? They were doing, the cage dives.
Can we stop the live videos while I go watch this?
No, we can't.
All right.
I'll
look it up later.
They were feeding, they were attracting the sharks, and the sharks smashed into the cage and decided, well, this nice piece of tuna that I got into my mouth, I'm going to keep going into the cage.
I live here now.
I live here now. Feed me some more, human overlords. And that was it. And there was a guy in the cage who snuck out of the cage while the shark decided, fuck this, I don't want to be here anymore. Let me out. And the poor old great white injured himself quite a bit because he was pouring blood everywhere.
Poor
when you see the blood, you're like going, he's after eating the fucker that was in the cage. No, he hasn't. And he just got out. So that's it. Look it up.
I'll look it up.
We live on the internet, Tom. You should be aware of these things.
I apologise for...
I don't apologise.
For not interneting properly.
No. Yeah, well, pornography doesn't count as interneting properly now, does it, Kitty Wigs? So that's the thing. So that's my spiel, just to kind of elaborate on it. And I think it's a case that, others, dedicated sites, and this isn't just about movies, this can be about fucking anything. This is where marketing companies are pushing all of their stuff. Let's go where the big numbers are. But if you pare away all the stuff... Yeah. It's not big numbers. It's relatively small numbers on these portal sites for dedicated whatever. So yeah, it's kind of just, it's fucking really just. I had my rant. Yep. Somebody said, "Are you drunk?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just here pounding the fucking keys."
That's how he normally is.
No, I'm not. I'm sober now, Tom. But yeah.
Wait till he gets stuck into Reddit about Star Wars Episode 8.
Reddit cost me money over the weekend as well with a PlayStation VR, but let's not say anything. So that's just where we're kind of starting. Yeah. So let's start off on a bad note, and it'll only get worse from here on in. But what do you think? How many people would come directly to themoviebit.com? Quite a lot of you still. Yeah. But
Thank you
unfortunately, we can't give you some of the content that we would like to give you because the movie studio thinks a website that has cat-ass pictures and sports stories and fucking music videos would gives them higher numbers. But we give them higher numbers just on movie stuff. These other portal sites don't. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating for everybody that is writing movie sites and stuff like that. So that's kind of that's it. I don't think it's the YouTube celebrity has caused an issue with all of this, because not every YouTuber is doing all of these things. There's a select few, but it's the portal sites, and there's thousands of them out there, and they all sell this big number. It's like a radio station having 3 or 4 radio stations, and they all just kind of sell the figures combined.
Oh yeah,
right. So
much better analogy than the car.
Yeah, but you still would, if you wanted to go to a fucking garage, you would go there to buy a car. You wouldn't go to a clothes shop to buy a car. They might have little dinky cars that you go, maybe I'll get one, but you don't get the real thing. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's it, really. We're packing up shit, and that's more or less that. We like to start each and every show by a whimsical rant, and then we swiftly follow that up with Tom's Trivia 3, where we teach you shit about the movies that you never knew existed before. Because, well, let's face it, the studios give us that.
Tom's Trivia Tree.
So, actually, I could start another story about an Irish movie that fucking snubbed us after, but I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that alone. High Element Pictures. Yeah.
Parse out your rants. Come on, parse them out.
I want to get them all out, Tom.
Okay. First up, we're going to talk about Batman.
Okay.
Batman. Tim Burton's 1989 Batman. Jack Nicholson is the Joker. Fantastic as the Joker. There was a couple other names looked at before Mr. Nicholson came on board.
Okay.
Willem Dafoe.
As the Joker.
As the Joker. A lot of people have been saying that lately. Kind of, I've seen mocked up pictures. It could work.
He wasn't a bad Green Goblin.
No.
He wasn't an amazing Green Goblin.
No. He was an okay Green Goblin.
Yeah, I think okay is fair enough to say, yeah.
David Bowie.
Okay. He's dead.
But this is back in
I
1989.
know, sorry, okay, yeah.
John Lithgow.
I'm not even acknowledging a response to that, Tom.
Tim Curry.
Let me Google a picture of Tim Curry real quick. What?
Not a recent one. Dear God, no. That's an okay one.
As the Joker?
Get rid of the goatee.
What have I done?
He has Nicholson face.
Has he a Nicholson face, do you think? If we really prepared to show this to people. Well, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
You know what Tim Curry looks like, that's it. He's kind of got a Nicholson face, actually. If you shave that moustache and give him a bit of a tighter balding hairdo back in the day, then Tim Burton would have said, look, Jack, leave it alone. We'll just get Tim Curry. He's a lot cheaper.
James Woods.
I would have thought he would have been a good Two-Face.
He would have been a good Two-Face.
Don't point at me, Tom.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, but I think he would have been a good Two-Face.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, the Joker is a very specific. I don't think, and not that we're like, oh, Heath Ledger. I think it's a combination of Mark Hamill and Heath Ledger is probably the ultimate Joker.
Yeah.
If we're to talk about that, I think a lot of the lesser
Heath Ledger's look with Mark Hamill's voice.
If he kind of brought it down, not as kind of high pitched, but if he brought it down a bit, but I mean, James Woods is the Joker, no, but I think he might have made a good Two-Face.
Okay, 3 more. Peter O'Toole. Yeah,
that's just Hollywood exec going somewhere.
I've seen this movie with this actor Peter O'Toole.
Yeah, he's going to be big. We need to get him in. The kids will love him. We can market him to everybody.
Edward James Olmos.
Yeah,
and finally,
Ultimate Recast reboot has come back. Look, hey!
This wouldn't have worked, but it would have been amazing to see. Ernest Borgnine.
I really just have to.
You know him. He was the butler in Heart to Heart.
Yeah. I know him. I just would he have made? Would he have? I'm gonna hold up the MacBook here. Yeah. Let's get this picture. Let's just hold this up to the camera. It would have been interesting.
Yeah, I
would say the very, very least, Tom.
Yeah, incredibly interesting, but no. Okay, they went with the right choice.
Did they though?
Nicholson? In that movie, yeah.
In that movie at the time, but if you kind of think about it,
okay, I will admit, 1989 Batman does not hold up.
No, it doesn't, and that kind of broke my heart because one of my great cinematic memories is of Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah.
When the Capitol Cineplex and the Grand Parade reopened after getting Dolby Digital and new seats and all this stuff, and when I looked at it and I showed Cameron, my son, I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. It's so bad, and if you look at the other ones, they're just almost. So we had Batman Begins. Or not Batman Begins.
No, Returns.
Batman Returns. Forever.
And
Robin. So almost they got progressively worse.
Yeah.
So they started out theoretically very, very well. Brilliantly, in fact.
For the time. Yeah.
They followed the pattern of Superman.
Oh God, yes, they did.
Superman 2 was like, it's just like the same. What? And then Superman 3, and then fucking
Quest for Peace was 3, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, that was the fourth one.
Quest for Peace was 4, yeah.
The Ivan Drago ripoff as Nuclear Man. Yeah.
Was it 3 or 4 had drunk Superman?
Which is actually, there's an amazing Hot Toys version of Drunk Superman.
Oh.
It's amazing, down to the stubble. And that's actually one of the great scenes, is Drunk Superman. I know it turns up in memes everywhere, but Drunk Superman is one of those things that freaked me out as a kid because it kind of made you, Jesus, Superman, he can't.
And he looks really creepy.
Yeah, and the whole peanut flicking, that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. It was Superman 3. There's Ernest Borgnine again. Jesus.
Go away, Ernest.
But yeah, I mean, for the time, yeah. But and I hate to give an argument with Star Wars. Star Wars for the time was amazing.
Yeah.
And it still holds up today. I'm not sure. I think it's not the visual look of Batman doesn't hold up. I think it does. The visual effects hold up. I think the hammy acting is where it falls down.
Yeah.
The Batmobile was awesome.
Yeah.
It is. A lot of people would say it's the best Batmobile. I think it's probably the second best for me.
It'd be my favourite. Well, aesthetically, it's my favourite.
Okay.
Then the Tumbler. And then the new one. And then fuck the other ones.
Yeah. Fuck them right in their exhaust pump.
They didn't need neon. You hear that, Schumacher?
It probably does, actually. Yeah, I for the time, I don't know, do I buy into the for the time argument, but it does hold up. And I think Nicholson's performance was heralded as this amazing piece of work back in the day. It is awful. He did no work. He turned up and he took a fucking check, and he continues to take checks from that performance, and that done all kinds of box office money. He cleaned up. I think they gave him the wardrobe.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Of suits that the Joker wore.
It's a masterpiece of not giving a fuck. Because he just goes in there, just turns it up to 11 and then leaves again.
I don't even think he turns it up to 5 a lot of the time. It's just,
really?
I think he just turns up and where do they get those wonderful toys? Where does he get them?
No, just certain scenes, like the scene in the Smilex commercial. He was.
They were probably shot 50 years ago, and they just like pulled archival footage out and said, "Right, Jack, we'll use that." I think it's probably one of the most overrated performances. I think Keaton. I think everybody lost their mind back in the day. People were writing letters and throwing carrier pigeons in the direction of Tim Burton and Warner Brothers.
Keaton was the original Batfleck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. It's not good. I'm not sure if he makes a good Batman.
It's very bland.
Yeah, it is very bland. It lacks a little bit of contrast, actually, at times. Okay.
We spent 10 minutes on one trivia.
Yeah, well, what the fuck? Yeah. People love this shit, don't you? If not, let us know and we'll shut up shop. Right, reviews this week.
We still have 2 more trivia to go.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Shit, I thought we'd done them all.
No.
You mean that was the first one?
That was the first one. We're regular Kevin Smiths here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, Adam McKay wanted to make Step Brothers a drama, not a comedy.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. I don't think that would have worked.
No.
Step Brothers is one of my all-time favorite comedies.
Yeah. And it works because it's a comedy.
Completely.
Yeah.
And I think Will Ferrell and...
That's probably when it changed.
But let's just for argument's sake, I think Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly could have done it as a drama.
Yeah,
but there's no fucking way. What was that wine thing? What was it called?
Kalina Wine Mixer.
The wine mixer.
The fucking Kalina Wine Mixer.
Yeah.
Which they actually held last year.
Yeah. There's no way you could do that drum solo as a drama. No. Maybe with even some more slow motion and 80s rock hair and wind and rain and shit, and it's like... But
just getting the saxophone player from Lost Boys for some reason.
Yeah. I don't think that would have worked. As a comedy, Will Ferrell's balls on a drum kit.
Yeah,
that's all you need, people, for something to go okay. And I think Step Brothers is one of these rare comedies that just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and then you go, it's done, and then it goes again.
Yeah,
I'm fucking watching Step Brothers before the week is out.
Can I segue just a tiny bit?
Yeah,
they brought out the Lost Boys comic there last week, and one of there's 2 variant covers, and one of them is the topless saxophone player.
Really?
Yeah, it is awesome. And finally, our last piece of trivia: Cabin in the Woods. And when they're showing all the other countries that failed, it shows a monster dead in Buenos Aires that looks awfully like Sully from Monsters Inc.
Probably was from Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
that was Cabin in the Woods was it was kind of this generation, and we're pushing our ages here, but it was a kind of a generational Dusk Till Dawn, because it started one way and then the end of it was just sheer insanity.
Yeah.
Complete insanity.
I would have never put those two together, but you're absolutely right. Yeah.
You know, because Dusk Till Dawn was what, mid-90s, early 90s?
It was after Pulp Fiction, wasn't it?
Let's just check it out.
I'd say 95, 96.
Yeah, I'd say it's 90. I think it's 95. From Dusk Till Dawn, baby. Yeah, and it's just because that was a movie of 1996.
Yeah.
was definitely of two halves.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Which it started one way and then
it was a crime thriller.
Yeah, and then it just turned into, well, if you've never seen it, I don't want to spoil it.
No.
Because it's a great fucking twist. And let me tell you, people, you will never fucking ever forget Cheech Marin's speech about pussy. You have never known that there has been so many different types of pussy.
I think that's the next critically acclaimed actor.
Actually, that's for a critic. That should be for a critically acclaimed screen actor.
Yeah.
For
I'll make a note and put down.
if you can dig it out between this and the time we get to it,
all right,
I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. So horse pussy, snapping pussy, smelly pussy. It was just insane. So if you've never seen From Dusk Till Dawn, we're not talking about the streaming series or TV series. We're talking about the movie. Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, and George Clooney, who was just cool as fuck.
And I wanted his tattoo.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I. I really wanted his tattoo, but he was never willing to send it to me. Okay, right. Moving on. This week, reviews. Tom, you want to talk about Twice Shy? We don't have the review as such.
Yep.
As of yet, but Tom does have some words about Tom Ryan's new movie.
Yeah, Tom Ryan. If you've been a long time follower of the movie bit, you will know that we absolutely loved his debut feature, Trampoline. It was a little indie movie made for €900. Great story about leaving college and figuring out what to do with the rest of your life. Now he's back with Twice Shy, and he's back on the indie circuit. And Twice Shy kind of handles a very timely subject, I think, with Repeal the 8 everywhere. It's basically a love story about a couple who they go on a road trip to London to have an abortion after the girl falls pregnant, and the entire movie is this road trip, but it's framed. That's a framing device, and we go back in time to get flashbacks to the start of the relationship, kind of when the relationship was rocky and how all this happened, and it's just this wonderfully put together. It has an amazing cast: Shane Mary Corcoran, Azul Casey, two newcomers, and then Ardal Hanlon, who puts in an incredibly powerful performance.
One of the great Irish actors.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Without a doubt. I know people will. So that's your man from Father Ted.
Yeah,
No, one of the great Irish actors.
If you only know Vin Dougal, find this movie and see what he can really do. And then you have Pat Short as well in there as Azul Casey's father. Comic relief, but he's very good. And this story is just the way it's done. It's so simple, but it's really powerful and meaningful. And the whole abortion thing, it's not prioritized, not trivialized. It's handled perfectly. They handled subject of depression really well, and it's just incredibly written. It's really smart dialogue, incredibly funny lines, and it was a movie. By the end of it, I had this weird tightness in my chest after watching it.
That's probably your heart, Tom.
Yeah, it finally started beating.
It's like starting up.
Yeah.
Did you shit out some diesel?
No, it's just a movie that will affect you, and hopefully this movie gets out to a general audience, because this movie deserves to be seen.
I know we haven't written a review yet, but if you were lashing out the stars,
I'd lash out 4 stars.
Okay, very good. Next up this week on the podcast, by the way, you can interact with us on Facebook Live Video. You can hit us up on Twitter at The Movie Bit, and of course you can find us on Facebook as well on themoviebit.com, and podcast at themoviebit.com is our email address. So Storks.
Can I get one more?
Storks. Animated movie.
What are we talking about?
Storks. Animated movie from Warner Brothers, and basically Storks have moved on from. We're going to hear the word Storks a lot. So Storks have moved on from. I'm just going to move my phone here because I have the cast up in front of me. So Storks have moved on from delivering babies to packages, So that's their new thing now, because they were so efficient at delivering babies. They said, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to deliver packages instead. But miraculously, there is an order for a baby turns up, and the best delivery Stark must go on a bit of a road trip, a bit of a scramble, to fix this error by delivering the baby. So here's the thing, I guess let's get the Stark in the room out of the way first. For those of you freaking out about, look, it's a kids movie. Yes, it's a kids movie. Oh, Jesus, it's going to cause all kinds of awkward questions. You know, where do babies come from? That is not even approached in the movie in any way, really. It's handled very, very well. There's a part in the movie where, like, I took my son to it, so I was kind of conscious of the fact I don't want to be telling a 6-year-old how it happens. Just, yes, we do birds and the bees shit later on.
Till your wife is there and you can leave.
Yeah. No, I'll be a man and I'll do it. But there was one part in the movie and the parents are like, oh, we'll have to tell little Johnny, or whatever his fucking name was, we'll have to tell little Johnny that, you know, what really happens. And I'm like going, 15 stone of sweat. My child is like, Daddy, why are you sweating? I'm like, I don't know. Why are you speaking in a strange accent?
Yeah, I was going to ask, why you're so English all of a sudden?
He's like, I don't know either. And then you're like, that's the one moment where you think, oh, this is going to be awkward in the car going home, and then they change it to something else entirely. So that side of it, forget about that. Don't worry about that. I mean, if you've told your young kids that's where Starks come from as opposed to Mammy's baby shoot, then that's fine. So you can, you know, Mammy's baby shoot. What else would we call it? Somebody's going, I'm going to type them a letter, boy. See here? And I'm going to call it a vagina. See, it's going to be a V-A-G-I-N-A. It's going to be a vagina.
So James Cagney came back from the grave to email us.
See, here's looking at you, kid. Here's looking at your vagina. If Tom had a vagina, I would probably look at it.
Curiosity, because why does a man have a vagina?
Well, some men do.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right? See, yeah. Not that I'd look at theirs, just Tom's.
It's an odd relationship we have. Anyway, Storks. So
the movie bit is over. That's it. It's done. That's it. It's awkward now from here on in. So that's the idea. There's a half decent voice cast inside here. Andy Samberg is kind of in the lead, unrecognizable, I think, in places as Andy Samberg. I suppose the other big names are Jennifer Aniston and Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer has got that unique sounding voice, but he kind of really, it's like somebody fucking hit him over the head and drugged him and hypnotized him to give this really deep voice. So he's really making his voice deep.
It's just not for the sake of it. Like that.
Well, that doesn't sound like Kelsey Grammer, but
you get the picture.
If this was Kelsey Grammer speaking normally on a hello, how are you today? Then in the movie he's like, hello, how are you today? That's the difference.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Aniston kind of looks a bit like what's that one? Jodie Foster. She looks like so.
Is she the orphan?
No. It's just look.
Oh right, sorry.
Anyway, there's a Jodie Foster. You know, like hang on, that's yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of issues with Starks. Just one, really. The first half of it is woeful. The first half of it labours. So you get that? Babies,
yeah.
The first half of it labours and just drags on.
Just repeat the joke.
And it just labours and it just keeps labours and
stop saying repeat.
Labour. So the first half of the movie, until, you know, they're on this road trip, as it were, this scramble with the baby, trying to deliver it. And even though it's predictable and the story's weak in that sense, the first half just drags out quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is very, very boring. However, once they get on the road trip and once the wolves turn up, the wolves, the alpha male is Jordan Peele is in there as the beta wolf, and the alpha male is Keegan-Michael Key.
Key and Peele back together.
And they're the best thing about the movie.
Yep.
The wolves are the best thing about the movie. I spoke to Tom about this earlier on. You know how things have been minified, and we really kind of had a go at the Minion movie a couple of months back. the wolves in Storks need their own movie. They really fucking do.
From what he told me, yes, they do.
These are Transformer wolves. Okay, that's the only way to put it.
Get Michael Bay.
There's the Optimus Prime of wolves is here because the wolves want to eat the kid and they want to track him down, and so the wolves, the wolf pack, are all together and they all fall for the baby being cute, but they still want to eat it and stuff. And then when the story progresses, the wolves need a boat.
As you did.
So it's like, wolf pack, form a boat! And then all the wolves, hundreds of wolves, form a boat. Okay? Right? It's fucking insane. All of the wolves form a boat, and it is hilarious. And it's even more funny because all their little legs are like... And then at the back of the boat for the engines, all the wolves are like... And the boat just goes. And it's fucking... It's so funny. And all the wolves then, they'll want to form other vehicles, as it were. It's amazing. It genuinely, the wolves are hilarious. I did not... Every time the wolves came on screen, I did not stop laughing. I haven't laughed at stuff in a long time. Only my own jokes here. But the wolves are the best thing about it. And they're sadly underused. I wanted more of these fucking transforming wolves. It's you have never seen anything like it. Until you've seen a wolf boat, you haven't lived, people. And then once that momentum builds, the movie kind of keeps it going. I don't think anybody is really breaking a sweat here. Andy Samberg isn't breaking a sweat. Voicing Jr. Kelsey Grammer is probably breaking a vocal cord somewhere trying to do the voice. So it's just they turned up. The story is a little bit predictable, but it's the secondary and tertiary characters make it good. The wolves. I'm all about the fucking wolves.
We're pro wolf here at the movie.
I'm all about the wolves. They're amazing. If you yes, it will keep the kids quiet for 90 minutes. The wolves will make you laugh. There's one or two other little touches that I won't give away spoilers because I've probably given away enough with the wolves. They're enough to make you laugh. They're enough to make you forget about the first half until it gets going. However, there's not enough there to warrant anything above 3 stars.
Okay.
For Storks. And that I've seen it get slammed elsewhere. 3 stars is probably a little bit generous. It's okay. From the kids' review perspective, my son felt it was funny. It was awesome. He also felt it was sad.
Oh.
I won't say why he felt it was. Nobody died. Okay, just nobody died or anything.
Well, I'd say 1 or 2 of the wolves fell off that boat.
No, I think no, because they formed other shit later on. They all survived.
Okay.
They all fucking survived. So, in that sense, some of the kids might find it sad. Maybe that's just my guy. But ultimately, it's 3 stars. The wolves make it. The wolves are worth the price of admission alone. I haven't really followed the trailers for this, so I'm not sure how much the wolves are featured.
They're in the first 30 seconds of the trailer and the last 30 seconds.
But briefly.
Very, very, very briefly, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they're the best thing about it. Sometimes if you look at a lot of movies like Despicable Me, the best thing about the Despicable Me movies were always the minions.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they fucking ruined that by just having a 90-minute product placement ad. But that aside,
yeah,
that aside, I don't know. I would love to see a Wolves movie though, because they've just got so much personality. Maybe it's something that should turn up on Netflix. Like, I would watch this if this was a Netflix series. The kids, I think it would be funny.
Yeah. Yeah, but kind of like Netflix's cartoons based on movies. They did Home and they did The Croods. Very, forgive the pun, crude animation. So this would need top of the line.
Yeah.
CGI.
Well, I mean, if you look at like some of the Netflix series which aren't funded by Netflix, but at the same time they've ended up there, like the DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon stuff.
Oh yeah, actually, I stand corrected.
That may be in that kind of level, but the Wolves are epic. So if you're going to go see it for the Wolves. Otherwise, 3 stars. Alrighty, this is the Movie Bit podcast. You can check us out online, themoviebit.com. Subscribe on Stitcher and iTunes, and you get the podcast free each and every week. And of course, you can watch us live on Facebook video. And if you subscribe and follow to us on Facebook, then you can go back and rewatch the full episode just in case you missed the stuff where we were looking at Tom's vagina earlier on, or not. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's gonna become a thing now.
It's not your vagina. Right, okay. In fairness to Tom, he has managed to get it together. This could well be the greatest critically acclaimed screen actor we've ever had on the podcast. Alternatively, could be the worst. All I know is if you're easily offended, then it's not for you.
And we're going to be here for a while, so strap in.
Buckle on, people. Buckle on, buckle in, buckle down.
In.
Hold on to your butts.
A critically acclaimed screen actor quotes movies he hasn't started.
All right, pussy, pussy, pussy. Come on in, pussy lovers. Here at the Titty Twister, we're slashing pussy in half. Give us an offer and a vast selection of pussy. This is a pussy blowout. All right, we got white pussy, black pussy, Spanish pussy, yellow pussy. We got hot pussy, cold pussy. We got wet pussy. We got chet pussy, smelly pussy. We got hairy pussy. Bloody pussy. We got snapping pussy. We got silk pussy, velvet pussy. Non-hide pussy. We even got horse pussy, dog pussy, chicken pussy. Come on, you want pussy? Come on in, pussy lovers. If you don't got it, you don't want it. Come on in, pussy lovers.
A critically acclaimed screen actor quotes movies he hasn't started.
I don't know, I managed to fucking pull that off.
I tried to count how many times I said pussy. I lost track at 14.
And I know I lost a critically acclaimed screen actor on on the horse one. And all I could say is like, please don't do Cheech Marin. Please don't. Because the whole thing is like, the pussy, pussy, pussy. Yeah, my wife is going, on the internet again.
Oh, he's watching Dust Till Dawn again.
Yeah. So there you go. That's our critically acclaimed screen actor for this week. I don't think he would have worked in that particular scene.
No, it's all about the energy.
Even if he sped it up. All right, pussy, pussy, pussy.
No.
Come on in, pussy lover. Oh, no, I'm really... Yeah.
You have to sound like you're on like 40 pounds of cocaine.
Is it measured in pounds? I thought it was kilos. Do you not watch fucking Narcos?
No, I haven't yet.
All right, okay, leave. Okay, right, let's move on to movie news. I guess let's start off with... There's a certain deal of irony in all of this because I always think of Jack Donaghy when I talk about Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
But we're looking at he's voicing Baby Boss, which is this new animated movie.
Yep, from DreamWorks. Basically, the story is a wildly imaginative 7-year-old has to deal with a new brother who just so happens to be wearing a suit and a briefcase, and he is voiced by Alec Baldwin. And the trailer's just been released. It just gives that. It's just that setup. It doesn't give much else about the story. Is it going to be like an insane kind of baby business, or is it going to be just an analogy for dealing with a new arrival? But it does look funny. Alec Baldwin has been top of his game when it comes to comedy lately. I think ever since 30 Rock.
That opened him up completely from a comedic point of view. 30 Rock is one of my favorite TV shows for quite some time.
Absolutely amazing.
Unfortunately, I never finished it.
Oh, really?
I never really finished the final season for one reason or other. And I'm one of these people, if I don't finish it, I find it very difficult to go back to it after a period of time.
Yeah.
And it's been years since I've gone back to it, but, you know, that's where my affection for Tina Fey.
Never finished for you?
No, it never finished.
Yeah.
It never finished. It never finished. Maybe I'll finish it sometime. Anyway. Yeah. But well, no, you're right. No, I like Baldwin is great.
He's absolutely fantastic.
He's great. Whether he's attacking photogs and paparazzi, which fair play to him. Whether he's voicing this stuff, I think anything that he's done over the last couple of years, he is faultless. And it's rare that we plug other podcasts here. We're not kind of in the habit of doing it, but Alec Baldwin does a podcast called Here's the Thing.
I never heard of this.
And I think it's like one of these public radio things. But he does a podcast called Here's the Thing, and he's everybody from the one of the more recent episodes I listened to was the CEO of Starbucks.
Okay.
To like Tina Fey, to whoever. He's all of these amazing guests, and yes, it's full of ads, and yes, the interviews are relatively short, but he is very good at it.
Yeah.
He is very good at it.
He's such a voice.
So yeah, and he does have an amazing voice.
Yeah.
He's our Dick Morn. Remember Dick Morn in Glenroe?
Yes. What a voice.
Yeah. And I can't the fucking hell, what's his name? What was the actor who played Dick Morn? Like, I know people are listening to this going, if you're not Irish, you've no idea. Let's see.
Glenrose or Sunset Beach.
Yeah.
With extra ferns.
Emmett Bergen, one or the other. He's an amazing voice, and he has been doing stuff up until late, I think. But yeah, he was kind of our Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is our Dick Morn. There you go, Irish listeners. The Americans are going, what the fuck is this Glenrose shit? Sounding slightly like Joe Pesci.
Yeah, all American Joe Pesci.
Joe doesn't work really anymore much, so he's got some time in his hands.
So yeah, he's trolling the internet.
So Joe's like, these fucks went on about fucking Glen fucking... It's a farming show, Joe.
So he's just commenting on podcasts now.
That's it. Thanks for the comments, Joe. Thanks for the comments. See, I think something with like this with Alec Baldwin, if it's clever, and when I say if it's clever in the Family Guy thing, and obviously Stewie is going to be the obvious comparison here to any kind of baby thing, so it needs to be kind of clever and a little bit, edgy, and you can do edgy. Shrek was edgy, in places. Madagascar was edgy in places, so I think if they can kind of have Baldwin doing this kind of cool stuff, I think it'd be something worth a watch. Next up, Duncan Jones' Mute is coming to Netflix.
Would this be their biggest movie today?
Besides the stuff they're signing up Brad Pitt and Will Smith for.
Brighter and whatever the other Brad Pitt movie
Like,
is.
I know people are automatically thinking, oh, well, let's go into Netflix. Sure, that's just been downgraded. Not necessarily, because here's the thing, as we talked about recently, Netflix have spent $6 billion in content last year. They seem to be not allow is probably the wrong choice of words, but they seem to have a very hands-off approach when it comes to filmmakers and creative talent doing their thing.
It's just another distribution model.
Yeah, really. They buy, obviously they're funding it, but they're buying into it. They're not, from my understanding, they're not turning up every day, here's an encyclopedia of notes.
Yeah.
Go fucking, this is what we want done, because we know best. They seem to be very hands-off on the creative process, which is great. In that sense, so it allows somebody as talented as Duncan Jones to make the movie that he wants to make. I don't think it's a downgrade. I think in 5 years' time, people unfortunately will be going to the cinema less.
Yeah.
I was like, don't say that.
No, don't get into your rant last week.
No. But Netflix and streaming services are the way forward. So they're pulling in these talented filmmakers now. I wouldn't look at it as a downgrade at all.
And this is a movie he's been wanting to make for years.
Yeah.
So,
and I think Netflix is the best place for it. I think Duncan Jones is an incredibly talented individual. Moan. That should be the movie about me. Moon is an incredible piece of work. That's the first time Tom has licked this table on camera. Source Code was really, really good. Yeah. I think Warcraft was a letdown. He was disappointed with Warcraft because I don't think the studio left him make the movie that he wanted to make. And Duncan Jones is a huge geek. He is a huge gamer. So, he was kind of caught, unfortunately, at the Hollywood machine.
Disappointing.
And the Netflix machine is very different from the Hollywood machine. So, he's been on the podcast a couple of times over the years. We love him here. I think this is something that could be huge for him. He'll get to make the movie that he wants to make. No bullshit. And hopefully, lots of you people that give Netflix a few bucks every month will go watch it.
Yeah, it's got a great cast as well. Alexander Skarsgård, Paul Rudd, and Justin Theroux.
Yeah. Skarsgård's on fire.
Yeah. He was one of the best things about War and Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Michael Pena.
So yeah, I mean, you know, best of luck, and hopefully we'd like to see that if we do a release date.
Let me just check here now. Sometime in 2017.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
which means that we have at most a year and 2 months to see it. Realistically, probably 9 to 10 months.
Yeah, it's in the middle of principal photography, so I'd say 10 months. Let's be conservative.
Okay. Alrighty. And then finally, of course, if you're on the moviebit.com, you would have seen the Star Wars, hang on, let's get it right, Rogue One, a Star Wars story trailer, which finally gave some inkling of Darth Vader. Yes, the last trailer kind of gave it to him fucking shrouded in red. This one gave him walking out of a sauna.
God, that suit must be hot.
I think Gareth Edwards has created a Star Wars movie that is unlike any other Star Wars movie. Yes, we've only had a couple of Star Wars movies, but there's been canon and there's been the TV shows, the cartoons. This looks like, to me, it has a very different vibe.
Yeah,
and it's not necessarily a bad thing. As a diehard Star Wars fan,
we've said it before. It's a war movie.
It's a war movie. I think this is grounded in reality.
Yeah.
Dare I compare? But it could be the Star Wars equivalent of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that kind of look to it, but there's a different vibe. The music is different. It's not as kind of poppy.
Yeah, it's also, the color is a lot more muted.
Yeah, I mean the color correction is pretty insane.
Yeah, it's dark. It's not dark. It's Black Hawk Down levels of color correction.
Yeah, and when they're on the beach and all of that, it's a kind of very muted palette. It's very somber. I do think all of them are going to die in it, bar maybe one. And I think the trailer kind of does lead you to believe that as well.
Yeah,
and I think Darth Vader. Like, we've seen Darth Vader for, ultimately, it's Episode 4, New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5, and Jedi, Star Wars Episode 6. We've never really seen a badass Darth Vader.
No.
Or an aggressive Darth Vader. And that could have been a limitation of the time of trying to do whatever.
Yeah. And like it seems here, he's like, the main bad guy is Orson Carrick.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
John Mendelsohn, played by Ben Mendelsohn. And he's the main bad guy, and I get the feeling that Darth Vader is almost like lent to him by the Emperor as kind of a pit bull.
Yeah, and I know there's lots of rumors about what is going to happen with Vader, but on the latest trailer for Rogue One, he walks with such an aggressive purpose out of the sauna that I instantly, you just pick up on it. For me, that was the first thing I thought instantly.
Yeah.
You know, he's more assertive.
Yeah, and this new trailer kind of, there's been two before this, and we just got like a basic of the story. It was rebels going after the Death Star planned. This has opened it up loads. We now know who Mads Mikkelsen is playing, and his connection to Felicity Jones-Jyn Erso. Will we spoil it here for people, or?
Look, Star Wars has always had daddy issues.
Yeah.
And this is no different.
He's her father. He's also the lead designer of the Death Star. So that's why she's brought in. And yeah, they're going to be mining the whole daddy issue thing again. But I get the feeling there seems to be no redemptive quality. Like, if they do it, that there's no redemptive quality in this character, in Mads Mikkelsen's character, it will give it a different feel to it. And kind of a much more conflicted hero, hopefully, and kind of give it a bit of a different feel from ultimately Darth Vader turning to the light side.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. We're getting more and more excited about.
We're what, 2 months out?
Yep. It's
almost to the day.
Yeah, 16th December.
Yeah. So sorry there, I just scratched my legs.
Nope.
Fleas. So yeah, that's kind of it for this week. Rant over, everything over. So that be that, folks. Follow us on Facebook. You get notifications. The next live video which will be next Monday, which is not a bank holiday, is it?
No.
No, it's the week after.
The week after.
And of course, you can subscribe to us on themoviebit.com. And for whatever reason, a lot of people like to do it. is you just put on podcast on YouTube and just throw your headphones on at work or wherever. So if you're on the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/the movie bit channel, each episode goes up there as well. Live. Well, not live, but it's there for you to listen to. No pictures, just sound. And
Live-ish.
And you can rewatch, of course, this on Facebook Live to your heart's content. So, are we kind of done?
Yeah, I think that's everything.
Are we done? Have I offended anybody else?
Do you want to offend anybody
I'd
else?
really like to tear a particular studio a new fucking asshole.
No,
But it's not going to serve me any purpose, really.
what will it do?
What will it do? It's always what comes next, people. It's always what comes next. And speaking of what's coming next, it's our outro. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher. Thanks to our sponsors, The Real Picture Cinema. Check them out online, therealpicture.com. Thanks for Tom for coming here. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
The MovieBit.com podcasts. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, direct download, and streaming on the MovieBit.com. Streaming